In the shadows of the old library halls, where the dust is thick and the silence calls, books tell stories of the things unseen, of foxes wild and spirits keen. Whispers in the stacks they creep, ghostly chills that steal your sleep. Paranormal truths no one believes, they linger here like autumn's leaves. Bibles open to verses dark, stories written to leave their mark. The wildlife outside hears the moans, silent foxes, the forest groans. The last of beast you cannot tame, a history buff who knows no shame. Paragon life outside hears the moans, silent foxes, the forest groans. The past a beast you cannot tame, a history buff who knows no shame. Paranormal tales in every spine, haunting truths that cross the line. Whispers in the stacks they creep, ghostly chills that steal your sleep. Paranormal truths no one believes, they linger here like autumn's leaves. Spirits waltz through moonlit air, books fall down as if to dare. Foxes howl in the wooded shade, they guard the truths that time forbade.
All right. Let's start this off with a little bit of a drum roll. And where are we? We are here, and we are on a Monday instead of a Friday. How about that? Who would have thought that? Well, it seems the audience likes it. But let me begin, as always, by welcoming everyone who was kind enough to join us here on our Thanksgiving week episode of The Guild. Welcome to the library. As you can see, Lenny and myself are decked out in appropriate garb. We're going to light some candles here. And we are going to start the show properly with some candlelight. There we go. So, I think you're going to like tonight's show. I think it's going to be very interesting, if I should say so myself. But what can I tell you? That's just my opinion, ultimately. You have to decide. But let me start off by saying hello to everyone in the chat, as I always do. Hello, Sweet Tea. Hello, CG2. Hello there, Mustang Mike. Mustang Mike, by the way, you picked out a good thing about the spelling of Plymouth, and I'm going to get into that in a second. Gianni, how are you, my friend? Tammy is here as always. Thank you for joining. Emmanuel. Fiendu, my brother, is in the house. The judge is here. Gen X in effect. That's awesome to see you. Marta Fowler is here. Stony Tony is here. Paulie Donuts is here, but he's under the. I don't know why it says that the dog bones. I think that's your. I don't know why it's showing. It's not showing the names. It's showing the addresses. Sweet tea. I said it. Yes. Gina is here. Osada is here. Tommy Stiggs is here. Anyone else that I miss? Arlene Merlino is here. Did I miss anyone else? I don't want to miss anyone. Let me see here. A lot of conversation going back and forth, which is awesome. Everyone appreciates each other being here, which is the way it should be. Did I miss anyone? I hope I did not miss anyone. And a lot of comments today. Whoa. Indigo Twin, good to see you. I made you a moderator because I know you've been here more than once. So I have now made you a moderator. You're in blue. So thank you for being here. And all right. Well, let's get started, shall we? So my hat. I like my hat. I have my actual full pilgrim outfit, but I didn't put it on. That was a bit overkill, I think. But anyway, thank you guys for joining. 19 people. I love that. That's awesome. Thank you for being here. Magooch is here. I missed Magooch. How did I miss him? I can't miss him. All right. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Thanksgiving. One of my favorite holidays. I'm sure it's one of yours too. It's a great time for family and friends to get together. It's a great time to be thankful for all we have, especially for religious people like me, Christians like me, but for everyone, even non-Christians, celebrate Thanksgiving and give thanks, for what they have had and what they have in this world. As bad as it is, you can always find something to give thanks for. So it's amazing that we have a holiday just for that. Look at this. Lenny, what are you trying to pull here? Come on. Adidas. Anyway, so here's the thing. At the beginning of the show, in the comments, Mustang Mike said that Plymouth was spelt wrong. He is correct only in modern terms. I put that there on purpose because in Old English, it was spelt with an I and not a Y. And as you might know, the Pilgrims spoke Old English. So I put that on purpose in the tagline, Plymouth with an I. So you just learned something, Mustang, right there. There you have it. All right. Yes, Lenny was rocking his hat. I mean, rocking it a little too much because it slipped down in front of him. But anyway, so America, United States of America, was the first country to actually have a holiday that was dedicated to giving thanks. And it was actually George Washington, our first president, that came up with the idea. But the holiday as it is today was first put into place by Abraham Lincoln. The last Thursday of the month of November was proclaimed by Abraham Lincoln in 1863, I think it was. Maybe not, maybe 64. I don't know, but whatever. You can look that up if you need be, but that's how it goes. So what is the basis of it? And on Thanksgiving, in addition to giving thanks, we think about our origins. We think about the Pilgrims, as we call them, which were actually Puritans, separatists from the Church of England, who came to the New World to get away from the oppression of the Church of England, and then ended up doing their own oppression. What do you know? Ended up outlawing anything else but them. So they did the same thing that they ran away for, but what have you. But the things and the circumstances in which that occurred lends to a lot of ghostly activity in Plymouth itself. And I have a bunch of stories to tell you tonight. I think I have 6 of them or 7, maybe 7 of them. 7 of them. A little bit more than 7, I think. Like little ones here and there to add on to that. 7 main ones. So, now, where should we start? So let's start from the beginning. So the pilgrims from England want to get away from the Church of England. So what do? The first thing they do is go to the Netherlands, the Dutch, the Netherlands. And this is an interesting twist about it, is that when they're in the Netherlands, the government of the Netherlands, the kingdom of the Netherlands, offers them the opportunity to move to New Amsterdam, New York City, and live there with under their own religion. They can have their own religion and practice there as well. So they're offered to go to New York City. They refuse because they want to remain English citizens or English subjects to the king. So they refuse. And what they do instead is they make a course for English lands, which are actually south of the Hudson. And how do they end up north? It's a whole, that's a whole other story. But it's really because of the storms in which they encountered and why they were so late in launching their journey to America. So 1620, there originally were 2 ships. We know about the Mayflower. There was also something called the Speedwell. But the Speedwell was such a crummy ship that it had to come back. When they were launching it, it had to come back several times, and it really ended up, before it became unseaworthy. It was proclaimed to be unseaworthy. It came back. It made the expedition come back several times. So by the time they leave, it is November of 1620 when they leave, and they don't land. They don't land in Plymouth, which turns out to be Plymouth, because until December 16th, because of the storms. They were blown off course. They, like I said, they were trying to go south and ended up going north and landed where they did, on Plymouth Rock, so to speak. All right. So there's your backstory to that. Now, when they launch, so that the Speedwell did not work well. So they abandoned the Speedwell and everyone crowds into the Mayflower. So the Mayflower has 132 people, 102 pilgrims, and 30 sailors and soldiers and such like that went along with them. And they're all packed into a 106-foot long ship. Not a lot of room for all those people. And so it's a pretty miserable voyage across. Now, what happens along the way? Actually, only one person dies on the way, which is miraculous considering, the weather and the way things were back then. But when they actually land and get there, they're in the middle of winter, right? They're in December. And they have to spend most of the winter on the ship because they couldn't go on land and build a settlement during the winter. And the reason I'm telling you this historical stuff is because it builds up the reason for this area being paranormal or akin to paranormal, because there was such hardship and such bad things that happened that you could understand why there might be paranormal activity in this area, right? I don't know what's going on. We just lost 10 people. What is going on, people? Come back in. You got to come back in. Otherwise, I'm shutting this down. I'm not doing this for 10 people. Sorry. People have to come back in. But anyway, so they land in Plymouth in December 16, 1620. Now, when they're on the ship, 45 people die that winter on the ship from disease. That's just awful. 45 deaths on the ship. Terrible, terrible. Until they get ashore and in the spring and start to build and what have you. Now, what's the background to that? Well, they landed in a land which was originally inhabited by a tribe called the Pawtuxet tribe. Now, the Pawtuxet tribe was mysteriously wiped out by a plague. Now, this again is lending to the paranormal here. An entire race, I guess, or tribe of people was wiped out inexplicably by a disease around 1614. And when they get there to this land, it's cleared already because it used to be lived on. But the bodies, this is the creepy and disturbing part, is that because the disease killed everyone, the last survivors weren't strong enough to bury people. So, in other words, it got to the point, as people were dying, they were being buried. But as it got to the point where the remaining people were there, they couldn't bury themselves, right? They were so there were bones and remains all over the ground from those that just actually died where they were and laid where they died because no one could bury them. There was no one left. Everyone was wiped out. And they say up to like 1,000 people had died from this disease of this tribe. So a very creepy area to build a settlement, considering all this death and mayhem, all this horrible death that occurred here from pestilence. So, and so when they come ashore, they're a bit apprehensive of the Indians in the sense that you've heard of the name Miles Standish. I heard, I'm sure you have. He was one of the soldiers or the leader, the captain of the soldiers that were with them. He leads an expedition on shore. And what does he do? The first thing he does is steal corn from the grave sites of people, of Indian grave sites. So, and I know he did it because they were starving and they need something to eat. But this is number one. He steals from he's a grave robber to begin with. Nice karma there. Second thing he does is shoot at the Indians. Doesn't kill anybody, but shoots at them when he sees them, out of fear, I guess. Out of apprehension about seeing them. So two negative things he does immediately, which produce bad karma, and they say that the only reason they were able to survive is because of this famous Native American Indian named Squanto, who basically negotiated for them with the Wampog tribe, and allowed them to stay there, made a treaty with them for them. And Squanto had been in Europe because he had been taken a slave by the Spanish, and eventually made his way to England. And so he spoke English, and he had come back and he had joined the Wampog tribe. He was of the Pawtuxet tribe, of the people that had been wiped out. So the fact that he was taken as a slave prevented him from dying in that plague. So he comes back. He joins the Wampog tribe, and so he's there when the pilgrims come, and he acts as their basic voice. He advocates for them so that they don't get attacked, they don't get driven back into the ocean or anything like that. And they're actually helped. They actually helped survive the winter. And we know the famous story of how Squanto shows them how to plant corn, and as a result, they survive. And then that following fall, what they do is, they have this great feast, which we pattern our Thanksgiving dinner after. This very beginning of the relationship between the natives and the English, where they were friends. They were friendly. They were friendly in spite of Miles Standish shooting at them for no reason. So there you have it. There you have that particular background. Now, when the Pilgrims established Plymouth Rock, or Plymouth, they people die, they bury them on something called Coal Hill. So this is the second part of this story, which lends to the negative, creepy nature of Plymouth. And Coal Hill is up on a hill, and I'll show you what it looks like. Coal Hill. I think I have a picture of Coal Hill. Yes, Coal Hill. And what happens is, in the year 1763, a hurricane hits, and it divides. It hits pretty hard, and the ocean comes in and divides Coal Hill, and as a result, bodies come up of the original Pilgrims and float down into the harbor and are bobbing in human remains are bobbing in the harbor. So a very creepy, eerie type of thing happens because of this storm. But let me show you what that looks like real quick, if I may. Let's see here. Here's a view of Coal Hill in Plymouth. Up on the top of this hill, you're looking out over the bay, and right in the center here is where it splits, and the bodies came from this hill down into the bay, and were floating about there, and they all had to be taken out. These corpses had to be taken out and reburied, and this monument has been built there to commemorate this area in question. But what's just a creepy event that happened with dead bodies all over the place. So quite bizarre. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Bill C. Thank you for joining, guys. Appreciate it. All right. So Coal Hill. Now, also another thing that happens that's pretty darn macabre and creepy and might lend itself to negative energy is, after Squanto dies and after the Wampong, I forgot how you pronounce his name, Massasoit was the chief of the Wampong. After he dies, things go bad between the Pilgrims and the Indians, and there becomes a lot of tension and problems there, and it gets to the point where there's actual war between them, and there is an uprising by a Native American Indian by the name of Metacom, but English called him King Philip. That was his nickname, King Philip. And he has an uprising against them, but he loses. And what they do is pretty disturbing. What they do is they paid, well, actually, he gets killed by another Native American Indian within a traitor within him, within his tribe. And then the English get his body and they cut him up into 4 parts and hang parts of his body from different trees. And they take his head, put it on a spike, and put it right in the middle of Plymouth, and it stays there for 20 years. The king, the the head, the skull of King Philip, the tribal enemy of the Pilgrims, his head sits on a stake in the middle of Plymouth for 20 years. Now tell me that doesn't bring ghosts into the area. Bad news, guys. Come on. You don't want to do stuff like that. So that's the general background to why this place has a lot of ghostly activity. A lot of negative stuff went on over the years, early years of this country. Hello, Donna. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. All right. So let's talk about the actual ghostly activity, right? That happens today. Well, the first place we're going to talk about is a place called Captain Thomas Phillips' house. And it's on King Street in Plymouth. Now, let me show you what this looks like. Captain Thomas Phillips' house. Where are we? That's not it. That's not it. Let's see. Where is this? Is this it? Excuse me. Getting stuck over here. Let me see what I have here. I just want to make sure I have the wrong. I don't give you the wrong house here. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Sorry about that. Let me see something here. I think this is it. All right, hold on. think this is it. Excuse me. Now, this is a very interesting story behind this. Now, this house is the only house in the history of the United States which was legally declared to be haunted. Yes, it was declared in a court of law to be haunted. Now, here's the backstory to this. Listen to this. You're going to enjoy this one. This is an interesting one. So, the house is built in the early 1700s, and it's owned by, as you might think, Captain Thomas Phillips. He builds it for himself and his wife to live in, and his wife is the niece, I believe, or niece of the Reverend Cotton, who was a famous reverend in that area. Now, unfortunately, though, what happens is Captain Phillips dies at sea. He drowns at sea. He's a sea captain, and that's what he does. He dies at sea. Shortly thereafter, his wife also dies. So they didn't have any children, so the property passes back to Reverend Cotton. Now, Reverend Cotton doesn't want to do anything with this place, doesn't want to live in it. So what he does is he rents it out. He rents it out to, let's see, a bunch of families, actually, because it's a big place. And there were three, I think, four families that ended up renting this house. One was John Clark, the John Clark family. One was the Thomas Savory family, the Samuel Holmes family, and then there was a spinster by the name of Ann Palmer, all of which lived in the house in 1734. Now, in 1734, all four of these families independently began to experience ghostly activity to the point where they felt they couldn't live there anymore. Doors and windows would open on their own. Manifestations of beings would happen. It was a blue light that would show up on the top in the attic, and people from the outside would actually see this light, and no one would be in the house at the time. And you're talking about a time where all you had were these candles, but there was a blue light up in the top of the house. Now, the tenants of this area felt they couldn't of this town felt they couldn't live there. They had to go. They had to run. They couldn't take it anymore. They're out of there. And they also said that they also started to tell people about this. Now, Reverend Cotton was not too happy about that because they were telling people this, telling all of their experiences, he couldn't rent it to anyone. So they hightail it out of there without paying their rent, and he can't recoup anything by renting it to new people. So he takes them to court, and he takes them to court for slander, which is an interesting concept here, because he says what they were telling people was not only were they experiencing these ghostly activities, but they were saying the ghostly activity was from the ghost of Captain Thomas Phillips, his relative, and was coming back to haunt the house. And he went to court and said that this was a slander upon his family. And so there is an actual court case that takes place in 1734. Witnesses are brought in. There's a transcript of the trial and everything. The jury agrees and finds that there was proof of ghostly activity in the house, and that therefore they dismiss Cotton's case and award the defendants. So you have a judgment there saying that there was a haunted house. Well, Cotton appeals it and goes to a judge to try to have it overturned. The judge looks at the case and says he cannot say one way or the other that it is haunted or not haunted. But he will not say it's not haunted, and he won't say it is haunted. So what he does is remand it back to the original decision, and the decision stands as it being a haunted house. So there you have the reason why it is an official haunted house legally, and has been so for 400 years, 300 years, whatever it is, 300 and whatever. So there you have your first haunted house in America and your only legal haunted house in America, the Captain Tom Phillips house. Now, you can visit this place if you want. It's on King Street in Plymouth. You might want to take a trip there and see if you see anything. It's now a museum, so you could go in and take a look around and see how it is. All right. So that's number one, the Captain Thomas Phillips house. Now let's go on to the Trask Museum. Now the Trask Museum is on North Street, and let me see where the Trask Museum is. If I can find it. I thought I had a picture of the Trask Museum. Maybe I don't. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, guys. I think I sent. Yeah. I'm sorry. I think I sent you the wrong picture. No. That was the right picture. Okay. So yeah, I don't think I have a picture of the Trask Museum, but the Trask Museum is located on North Street. Now, the Trask Museum is originally a house built in the early 1800s, and it was being restored by the Trask family. And as the restoration is taking place, this is around the 20th century, the mid 20th century. They begin to encounter, the working crew begins to encounter a lot of spiritual activity while they're trying to restore the place. So you have footsteps being heard with no one around. You have disembodied moanings and groanings, doors opening and slamming. And it's a Victorian museum, and it is now a home to paranormal investigations. There's so much activity there that now you can actually go there and tour it for that purpose, because there was so much activity that they rent it out for that purpose. And it is said that you can stay in the house too. You could stay in the house. People that have stayed in the house have said that they feel breathing on them during the middle of the night, like as if there's a presence there, and they feel breathing on their body, on their face and body while they're sleeping. That tables will move around. So it's a really, really creepy place. It's on North Street. Really old house, early 1800s, built in 1820 or something around that, early 1800s. But it is a place where a lot of active investigations take place for people that are interested in the paranormal and are looking to see if they can prove it. So that's your second place in hold on, what do I do here? What's going on here? Let's remove that from studio. Okay. Yeah. Here's what happened. I did not stop sharing that. Okay. Let's see. Mayflower Society. We'll get to that. There's the old courthouse. Okay, courthouse. Okay. All right. Anyway, so I guess, like I said, I don't have a picture of that, but sorry about that. So there you have the Captain Phillips house. You have the Trask Museum. Now let's go on to the Spooner House. Now the Spooner House is said to be haunted by a little girl by the name of Abigail Townsend. And she was an adopted child of the Spooner family. The Spooner family owned the house. She was 8 years old when she died unexpectedly of an infected tooth. And back then, I guess you could die from that because they didn't have antibiotics. So if you had an infection in your tooth and it spread throughout your body, you ended up dying. Awful, right? Awful way to go. Well, she's not a very unhappy spirit. She's quite a positive spirit. She is said to be seen at times jumping rope in the alley next to the house. People will see her in the windows of the house. They'll also see her opening the door at times. And that a woman living next door once said that she woke up in the middle of the night and found her, woke up to her standing, the girl standing at the feet of her bed, and then she vanished. And then the most prominent story was in 2005 when workers were working on the Spooner house. They come to the Spooner house to refurbish it. Historical, professionals that are going to build it like it or repair it so that it maintains its historical integrity. They come to the place, they knock on the door, and they're greeted. The door's opened and greeted by a little girl in period dress and invites them in, and they start working. And the girl goes off into another room. Well, not too long afterwards, the curator of the museum, because it is a museum, the Spooner Museum, comes by and asks how things are going, and also says, "How did you get in? Because I was late getting here, and it was locked, so I didn't think you'd be able to get in. So how did you get in? I hope you didn't break in." And the guy said, "No, the little girl let us in." And the curator said, "What little girl? There's no little girl here." And he said, "Where did the little girl go?" And they pointed to the room where she went in, and they all went into that room, and there was nothing there. So a very powerful spirit that appears in the middle of the day and actually interacts with people to the point of opening the door and letting them come in. Quite an experience, quite a creepy experience for the Spooner house. Let me see if I can show you the Spooner house. This is the Spooner house. You can see it's a nice little ancient house, very old house built in the 1700s. Very simple. Houses were very simple back then, but very durable. As you can see, they're still around. So quite a creepy little tale there. So we've had the Captain Phillips house, the Trask Museum, and the Spooner house. All right. Let us move on. To number 4. Number 4 is the John Carver Inn. Now, this is no longer a historical site. I mean, I guess it still is, but the building's long gone. The building that was originally there has been demolished, and there's been a spa built on top of it, and now it's the John Carver Inn and Spa. So it's a modern building. I'll show you what it looks like. It's nothing really to look at, but it's where the things still happen because of the grounds at which it's built on. So here we go. On here, hold on here. Here it is. This is what the John Carver Inn looks like. It looks like a typical place. It's a spa. You can go there and stay. And it is said that the third floor is where all the activity happens, all the ghostly activity. And if you stay there, you'll encounter something. In fact, if you stay in room 309, you're bound to have activity. And the basis of the activity is that the building that used to be here was a 3-story building that in the 1800s was used by a medical school. And it is said that some of the medical students were very unethical, and what they would do is rob graves and get bodies to experiment on and do work on and build their trade, and never really return those bodies to the graves. And it is said that because they disturbed these graves, the spirits of those who were stolen from the grave still haunt this location. Now, incidentally, this also was the location where the head of King Philip's was on the stake. It was right here because this is located in the middle of Plymouth, and it's where in the 1600s, the king of the head of King Philip was put on a stake and left there for 20 years. So an area bound for negative activity here as well. All right. So there you have it. That was your 4th little location of ghostly activity. All right. Let's get rid of that one. What else do we have here? All right. Now, the next one is the Mayflower Society House. Now, I'm going to show you this one. This one's worth seeing because it's a beautiful structure. It's a beautiful structure. Hold on. Let me show you this. Here's a picture of it during Christmas time. All, decked out for Christmas, decorated. Now, it's a beautiful, there's some snow on the ground. What a beautiful place. Now, the story behind this is that this place was owned originally by someone by the name of Edward Wilson, who was the great-grandson of one of the original pilgrims on the Mayflower. It was built originally in 1754. Now, Edward Wilson, however, was a loyalist, a royalist during the Revolutionary War, which was not good for him. So he was loyal to the king. He didn't believe in the revolution, did not participate in helping the cause, was actually helping the English. So he was driven from his property and had to flee to Canada. And when he dies in Canada after the war, it is said that his spirit came back and inhabited the place that he loved. He loved this place. He built it, and this is where he wants to be. So his spirit still inhabits this place. And he's most famous for playing the organ in the library. So there's a library room in here where the organ will play at times by itself. And it's said that it is the spirit of Edward Wilson, the great-grandson of one of the pilgrims who built this, who was a royalist and was driven away by the Patriots during the Revolutionary War. But he came back to spend eternity in his house. So if you visit this place, you might encounter him playing the organ or the piano, whatever it is. They said organ, but I'm sure he learned on a piano because there weren't any organs back then. So there you have it, 1754, the Mayflower Society House. It's now the location for the Mayflower Society. I'm sure you've heard of that. It's this elitist group, that club of those that are descended from the Mayflower people. So that's number 5. All right. Hello, Nick. Good to see you, buddy. All right. What else is happening here? CG2, did I say hello to you? I hope I did. I just noticed you now. I don't know if I did before. All right, let's go on to the old courthouse. Now, this is number 6, the old courthouse. Now, the old courthouse was built in 1749. Now, let me show you a picture of the old courthouse. Here's your old courthouse. It's pretty basic structure, square structure. A lot of things, a lot of trials happened here over the years. The old county courthouse. Now, a lot of activity happens in here. Some of the things described are windows, shades being opened by themselves when no one's in the building. That in footsteps when no one is present. Sounds of melting icicles. Now, I'm assuming that's dripping water. I don't know how you can distinguish the sound of a melting icicle as opposed to just dripping water, but maybe it's the rate at which it falls. I don't know. But there is no water around, but you'll hear the sound of it, and they say that it attributes it to melting icicles. Now, why is this place haunted? Well, the reason that this place is haunted is because of a tragedy that happened in 1778 in Plymouth Harbor. Now, this is not far from the harbor, but in 1778, on Christmas Eve, there was a blizzard that hit Plymouth. Now, unfortunately, there was a ship that had launched by the name of the General Arnold and tried to make it out of the harbor, but could not, and actually tried to come back into the harbor and got grounded because it couldn't see because of the blizzard, couldn't see where it was going, the water was rough, it was freezing, and it grounds itself and begins to sink. Now, the people on shore see this happening but can't get to it because of the blizzard. They can't bring out boats themselves. So what they eventually do is they build with boats, one after the other, tying one to the other. They kind of try to build like a dock that goes out to where the boat is stuck, and it takes them quite a while to do that. Now there were 70 people um, in the crew on the General Arnold when it began to sink, and but because there's no, they were out there in the elements. By the time the residents of Plymouth get out there to rescue them, 70 people of the crew had died. So they were able to rescue. I'm sorry, there was the crew was 100 and I'm sorry, there was 110 or something like that. But there was 70 people died. So they were able to rescue 33 of which um survived because 9 also died on shore. So you had the deaths of a large amount of people. And what they did was they took the frozen bodies back and put them in the old courthouse. And this acted as a makeshift morgue because there were so many dead. They, had to do something with them. And they piled up the bodies in here. And then they built a mass grave on Burial Hill. Now, Burial Hill, I'm going to show you next because that's part, and it's kind of linked together. The stories are kind of linked together. Um, and the interesting thing about this is that the captain of the General Arnold survives. He's one of the people that survives, but what he did, his name was Captain James McGee, and although he survived it, he immediately drafted a will saying that when his time came, that he wanted his body to be buried with his crew in this mass grave on Burial Hill. So no matter where he was supposed to be brought back when he died to be buried here, and that's exactly what's done. His heirs or whomever was taking care of his will and last will and testament carried it out, and they brought him back and buried him here. So quite an interesting little twist there. And it's said that his ghost will manifest and act as the leader of the ghosts of all those that were buried in the mass grave on Burial Hill. And it's said that at times there is a massive amount of ghosts, of spirits that will rise from Burial Hill. So now let me show you what Burial Hill looks like, because you can visit Burial Hill as well. It's not far from the old courthouse. Where is Burial Hill? Pretty cool picture of Burial Hill. So this is Burial Hill, as you can see. Creepy looking place, right? Especially with the sun sighting. It's on a hill, and that's why I guess they call it that, Burial Hill. But you can imagine seeing the souls or the spirits of those that buried here rising and walking about. So Burial Hill itself is basically the 7th location that's haunted. And it's haunted not only by the souls of those 70 so dead people and the Captain McGee, but it's also haunted by the spirits of a Victorian couple who is said to have lost their child when the child was 2 years old, and that they would come back and visit the grave. Their spirits come back and visit the grave of this 2-year-old daughter that they lost. And it is said that you will see them in Victorian outfits walking on the path up to the old Burial Hill. And they will look somber, they will look sad, and they will walk all the way up to where the grave is, and they will sit there for a while. They'll stand there for a while as if praying or just trying to be near the last resting place of their child, and then they'll evaporate. And they'll say that this will happen from time to time. And then there's also said that this Burial Hill, which was also an area where the Pilgrims buried people, but it's also an area where the Native American tribes also buried folks. So remember, this whole area had people, tribe members buried because of the pestilence that hit them and killed so many of them. So It is said that this particular burial, though, is guarded by a Native American tribesman who um, is his spirit is located in a tree, and a very old tree which has roots that look like hands. Now, I couldn't find a picture of this, but supposedly there's a very old tree in the burial hill area, which has roots that look like hands. Pretty creepy. It's a very dark black tree. And it's said that the spirit of this tribesman lives in there. It's tribes of the American Indian tribesmen. And then if anyone does anything disrespectful towards any of the graves, that he will retaliate against them. So if you're ever in here, be on your best behavior. Do not throw trash. Do not, do not act rowdy. Do not do anything, God forbid, damage anything, because this guardian of Burial Hill will take retribution against you. So be forewarned if you're ever there. And then the final ghost of this area is also a Native American woman who they've nicknamed Mary, who is said to pace the stairs back and forth in the town square that leads up towards the burial hill, and she'll be pacing back and forth as if she was in mourning for someone lost. And some people say that she sees you. If she sees you, she may stop and lunge at you. So a pretty creepy experience if you're ever there and encounter this, where a spirit would like lunge at you and then she vanishes. So be wary of Mary, the Native American Indian spirit that paces on the steps leading up towards the burial hill, because she might knock you the pants off of you, scare the hell out of you. So so that's it. That's your final story, Burial Hill. So we had Burial Hill, we had the old courthouse, which is kind of linked together. Let me get rid of this. You had excuse me, the Mayflower Society House, you had the John Carver Inn, you had the Spooner House, the Trask House, and then the Captain John Phillips House, all active spiritual locations in Plymouth to this day, which goes to prove that the area in question is a hotbed for paranormal activity due to all the negative things that happened over the years on this land. All right, there you have it. So I hope you enjoyed that on this Thanksgiving week. And I hope you learned something, too, about our pilgrims here. I taught you a couple of things here and there. And I taught Mustang Mike how to spell Plymouth in Old English. Excuse me. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Let's see, what are you guys talking about? Philly is a communist country. Stoney, what is going on there? Let's see here. What else is going on here? Just want to make sure I see everybody and what they're talking about. Delilah was late. Oh, no problem, Delilah. No problem. If you want to listen to the stories, go on back. They're there. They'll be there, right? You can always listen to them at your leisure. All right, Todd Father. All right, hold on. Link. I sent you the link, but I guess you can't work it that way. Okay, this is for Todd Father and Osada. Hello, Shannon. Good to see you. Hello there.
Hello.
How are you? Where is Saloda? Where is he? Yes, he asked me to put the link in the chat. I did it. Where is he? Come on. What'd you think of those stories? Wasada.
Very, very good. I've been stressed out for the last 2 hours though because I had 50 pounds of chocolate say that it was delivered and it didn't get delivered.
Oh,
So it happens once in a while, you know.
Hello there.
What's up?
What is this picture?
I found this tonight. It's my first year college ID picture.
Oh, Lord. Wow.
You're roided out there.
No.
Roid it.
Definitely not right.
I'll have to dig up mine.
Yeah, I was just looking through this box in my closet and I saw it. It was crazy. I could change it if it's making you mad.
No, it's fine. I don't care. Let's time for Paranormal Caught on Camera. All right. Let's do this. Now, hang around for these because the last one I think is the most creepy. So I'm going to save that one for last. But I think you're going to, some of these we'll say, but I think we can debunk most of them.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see what we got here. All righty then. Let's try that one. All right. Share screen. Okay. Get rid of this. All right. Now I didn't mark these, so bear with me. Let's see. Okay, this one is just this is a camera put into an old home because the family that bought this home said that they were encountering spiritual activity, and they learned that the prior owner had died in the house. Oh, look at this. Paulie Donuts with 5 memberships. That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you,
It was only a
Paulie
month
Donuts.
ago, huh?
Let's see. I can't see who got them here. So we got Zelda got one, Patty got one, Pollock got one, Joey Pope got one, and Hey Teacher got one. Oh, very cool. Thank you, Paulie. That's awesome. All right. Toddfather, you got one last week, by the way. You weren't even here and you got one.
Where was I?
No, maybe it was the week before. Whatever. There was one week that you got it. You weren't even here, which is typical, I guess.
I probably had an event or something. I'm normally here when I can be.
Yeah. You had an event. You had an event or something. I don't know what it was. You were here last week because we talked about videos. All right. So this one, this is what they film, and this is the room where they're having activity. So they've set up a camera, and this is what they find. Now, you see that? What do you think of this? Rises up and kind of transforms as it rises. Disappears into the ceiling. Now, could this be like a bug that the camera's picking up that's flying past it? That was my initial thought.
A bug?
Like a fly, or something, like a moth or something that's flying up real quick past the like real close to the camera lens. I mean, it doesn't look like a bug, but I'm saying like maybe this could be like, because the camera's not focused on it, right? The camera is focused on the room. So could this be, just something flying in front of the lens? I don't know. Certainly doesn't look like a ghost, but I don't know what it is.
I got nothing.
Osada, any opinion on this one? You're on mute, just in case you didn't know that.
I wouldn't think it's a bug. I don't. It's got like a trail. You know what I mean? But,
I don't know.
I don't know either. It seems like it. Is it coming from like the pillows or?
Yeah, it's coming from the pillows is where it starts. Here, let's see. I'll go backwards. See, it comes from the pillows, right? Or like in front of the pillows, actually. See?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not coming out of the pillow. It's like in front of the pillows. That's why I think it's something in front of the, like close up to the lens of the camera.
You would be closer than that. I think.
I don't know. And there's like you see, it's in two parts, right? Like you see, can you see like there's when you watch the movement, there's also something to the left. See it to the left? There's like the main thing, and then there's like a circle to the left. Osada, what do you think?
I didn't get a chance to watch this one. My neighbor just came and showed me his Ring camera, and we've seen who stole my chocolate.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'll watch the next one.
So I don't know what to say about this one. I don't know. I
oh, but they got an adjustable frame bed, and that's cool.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. That's true. That is true.
Yeah, Anthony, I'm sorry. I have nothing for that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know if anyone in the chat has any thoughts on it.
Random. It's not.
Know.
There's no real shape. There's nothing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And Gianni says it's in front of the camera, in front of the bed, close to the camera. Yeah, it's definitely in front of the bed. Like it's definitely not coming out of the bed. It's definitely in front of the bed, though. Like in the front part. But I don't know I'm not convinced it's a ghost. It doesn't look ghostly to me. It just looks like something there. So let's solve the Osada chocolate story here. Let's see. It wasn't a spirit though, right? It stole.
No, it was a black dude.
Oh, and it's someone you know, like
no.
Someone. Oh.
It's just my neighbor. Just happened to check her Ring camera and seen the guy take it.
Lovely.
Like he needs 50 pounds of chocolate.
Ay.
You really can't even like call the cops. Like there isn't really not much you can do.
Oh yeah, no, hell no. I just got to order new chocolate. That's all it is.
How much was that?
$120. But the worst is it's not even. That's not the worst part. It's the time. I needed that chocolate today. So
right, because you're going to make something out of it, right?
So it's going to take another 4 days. Well, plus it's the holidays now, so I probably won't get it till sometime next week.
That sucks.
Another week.
That's no good.
Sorry to hear that.
It is what it is.
All right, let's see here. All right, let's take a look at this one now. This is a Tesla motion camera. Picks this up. Now, I've never driven in a Tesla, but I'm told a Tesla has cameras in all different angles.
360.
And they're activated by motion. So this is what was picked up on a Tesla camera while it was parked in a parking lot getting charged. So it's getting charged in a charging station, and this is what happens. And I have a theory about this, but I want to hear what you guys have to say first. I like zoom in a bit here. What does that look like to you? An angel,
Mm-hmm.
right?
For sure.
So what do you think? What do you think of it?
I don't know. I think it's doctored. Like someone, it's like CGI. Like they just put a poof of an angel in there or something. Like I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not doctored, but I will tell you what it is. And this is just, this is just whatever, someone's nonsense. But what this is, and it's strange how it just happens to look this way, but this is a raindrop, how it's splattered on the camera lens. Because this happens, and then you'll see it happen to the left of the screen. It'll happen again. See? Like, see this all the way to the left where that car is moving? It's starting to happen here.
Well, it hits it just perfect. It's just.
And the owner of the car says that it was starting to rain when this happened. So it just so happened that the raindrop hit the camera perfectly like this and caused this anomaly. But it looks, the reason I shared it is because it looks so much like an angel. I mean, it looks almost perfect, as if someone drew it. So it hits and then it spreads out on the like that, and it just happens to spread out in that fashion. So interesting anomaly.
Before I forget, Ostada, can't you just have the chocolate like shipped to the commercial kitchen now instead?
Oh, 100% I can, but it's just easier. It's just easier to have it done here. But I think I'm gonna have to do that. It's not the first time that's happened. It's happened like 3 times in a few years.
So obviously the thief, I should say, didn't know what it was, right?
No.
It's not like he's a chocolate thief. He's just the thief.
Yeah. It's a really good video of him though, so I'm gonna have the neighbor send me the video, and then I'm gonna send it to. We have a thing called to Compton Files on Facebook.
Might as well. Yeah, definitely. All right. All right. What's next here? Okay. Now this one. This is interesting. All right. So let me. I'm going to set this up. This comes from Turkey. So it's it's not American, obviously, not an American video, but it's a surveillance camera in front of a Turkish convenience store at night, and the owner of the convenience store is out there closing things up, and as he's doing this, you'll see what happens. Now keep your eye on this guy walking, and you'll see here's the guy, here's the owner right here. The owner's in dead center. Watch what happens. Look at that. Now, this guy taps him on the shoulder, right, to warn him. And he turns around and he sees the gate of that truck flying, and he ducks out of the way. That's the owner right there. And he claims that there was nobody there. He claims that the guy that we see touching him was not a person, because there's no one there. There was no one there when he turned around. Like whoever that was who warned him was a ghost, he said.
I'm just wondering what the heck was swinging off the back of that truck. It doesn't look like something we see around here.
Well, whatever it was like a gate on the truck, I guess. That goes across that wasn't locked, and it came swinging off the side. But if you believe the guy, like he didn't see anyone there. He didn't see this guy. He just felt someone tapping him on the shoulder. He turns around and he sees, and that saved him from getting whacked by the thing. And it's interesting.
No, Todd, I believe everything except like just whatever swinging though. Just it looks like it's like
here's when you can see
far
it.
Behind.
Here's when you can see it, right? So basically, it's like sticking out the back of the truck. Because you first see it. Let's go back. You first see it here, right? Right. Here's where you first see it, right there. Right. So it's sticking out the back of the truck. I don't know if it's a ladder or what the hell it
looks like a ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. That almost got him. That's crazy.
I don't think it is a ladder though.
No, you're right. It doesn't look like that. Doesn't make sense that it's a ladder, right? You wouldn't climb something like that. But it
looks like it scrapes the ground before it gets too close to.
Maybe it's like scaffolding. Maybe they put scaffolding in there or something. And it was sticking out the back, and it swings around because there must be like the truck must be making a turn to the left, which swings it out. Like as it turns, it comes around this corner, it must be going another corner. You know what I mean? It must be turning around the other corner, which makes it swing around and almost hit the guy. But how come nothing happens to that guy, right? He's walking along.
Oh, the other camera got him smeared on the street, up the street there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just thought that was quite interesting. Now, whether you believe the guy or not, just
the guy that warned him kind of is dressed in the same type of a jumpsuit, it looks like. Because that guy's wearing like some type of blue zip-up type of a thing. I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, it looks like he's wearing like a coat, like a
coat. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very squarish.
Keep showing it. Go forward more.
And yeah, if that guy, that guy would have got whacked by that thing.
Yeah. So whether that guy's a ghost or not, he definitely saved this guy from getting hammered.
Well, it's either that or that's a really good Photoshop video, fake video.
Yeah.
Unless it's like AI or something. I don't know how recent it is, but looks pretty legit to me.
Yeah. And this was from the news in Turkey. Like it was on the news in Turkey. If you watch the whole video, it's like a Turkish news thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Just two more I got here. All right. Now, you guys remember the movie The House on Haunted Hill? I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but you remember the name, The House on Haunted Hill?
Yeah.
Well, this is the actual house. I'm going to show it to you that it's based on. And people went in here to try to encounter ghosts. So, hold on. So this is what the real house looks like. And it's supposedly haunted by someone by the name of Dr. Well, it's supposedly haunted by 9 ghosts, but it's supposedly haunted by the main ghost is a Dr. Jaeger, I believe. Now, they go in here to do their own little paranormal investigation, and they film it. And so a group of goofballs go in here to do their thing, and they film it on closed caption TV, whatever the hell this is. Now, this woman right here. Now, you're going to see what happens to her. This woman is laying on the bed, and she starts taunting the ghost, saying that, and this is supposedly a picture of the ghost when he was alive. I don't know, whatever. And you'll see what happens to her. And let's see if we think this is real or staged. There she is, right there, right? You see her on the edge? Now she's taunting the ghost, saying, if you're here, do something. You're not really here. Watch what happens to her.
Oh, okay.
She gets pulled off the bed. I mean, it's easy to fake. Easy to fake.
Really dark over there.
Easy to fake, but she did get violently pulled off. So if it's a fake, she took one for the team.
Does it have audio by chance?
No, the audio is just the guy explaining what happened. It's not anything about what's actually occurring at the time. So
I'm not sold.
I mean, that's pretty violent the way she was ripped off, but
it is, and it's super dark over there, so
Yeah.
someone can be hiding over there and just rip her off, and then
yeah, yep. And
That's what I think.
It's
I think it's
interesting
fake.
how the fat guy just calmly puts his camera, puts his phone there to see what happened to her, right? I mean, he just calmly puts it over there, right? And this guy's not even, the guy standing here is not even moved by it. He doesn't even care until now, right? Until he,
So it give the other guy, whoever pulled her off the bed, gave time to move.
Right. Hi, Suzanne. How are you? I didn't say hello to you. All right.
I just think it's crazy how they're drinking beers and just lounging and like it's like a dorm room in there.
Yeah, well, supposedly they rented the place, and then they made a party out of it. I guess I don't know.
What a great selection
Clowns.
for an Airbnb.
That's why I call them clowns. It's it is what it is. All right. Now, my last one is, to me, the most disturbing one. All right. So let me set this one up. Now, I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago, I don't know, maybe more than that, there was a famous murder that took place. Watkins family.
Yeah.
You remember that? Where the husband killed, he had a beautiful wife and two beautiful young girls, and he killed them.
Yeah, he put them in some type of a oil thing or some type of, on his work site.
Just horrible, just horrendous.
Yeah. Was it New York State?
I don't know where it was at.
I think it was out west, because it looks like it's I don't know, Arizona or something. I don't know, but wherever it was, this film that I'm going to show you, this is body cam film from the police when they went into the house. This is before they know that the woman and the kids were killed. They just go in as part of the investigation. He agrees to allow them to come in with dogs and, do a search of the house. And they have their body cams on. So this is legitimate police footage. Now, watch what they catch on here. So here they're going into the house. There's one person, there's one officer with the dog, blah, blah, blah. Now watch on the stairs. That's the woman, and they're the kids. Horrible.
There was another woman involved, that's why.
Yeah. What a piece of garbage right there. Piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Now,
the neighbors had surveillance footage.
Now watch this. Now look at this. Now look at the stairs. Now look at the top of the stairs. It's not a good one. There's a better angle coming up, I think. Hold on. Where is it? Look at the top of the stairs here. Look at the stairs. Do you see a child coming down the stairs? Look at that.
Oh, okay. Now I see it.
This creeped me out when I saw this. And then it evaporates and then it disappears.
Yeah, I totally believe that. I mean, that just happened. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That literally just happened, that murder. I mean, that's just...
But that looks like a little girl walking down the stairs.
It does.
It probably is one of the girls. Who could? I mean, it just makes me want to cry to even think about that. A father could do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible.
That's crazy.
You know, I don't know. I think I might have told you this, but my kids, my older two kids, when they were younger, they lived in a house where they both seen a little boy.
Yeah, you told me. You did tell us that. Yeah.
Yeah. My son it was early in the morning, and he seen the boy coming down the steps, and he said he was rubbing his eyes because he wasn't sure what the hell, because he just woke up. He wasn't sure what he's seen. You know, if he really seen that. And then when he rubbed his eyes and opened his eyes, it was gone. And then my daughter was coming out of the shower, and she swore it was her younger brother going into her bedroom. And she went to go yell at him to like get out of her room, and then nobody was in there. Her younger brother was sleeping in his bed. So, yeah,
yep,
yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when I seen that, because you know, when somebody dies in a house like that, you just
I mean, look at these poor little kids, and I mean, like Harb. I mean, how can you do that? How can you do this?
Yeah, and he like buried him in or he like put him in like I don't know what it was, but like an oil thing or something. You know, he just threw them away like they were garbage, and just because of another woman. He wanted to be like with another woman. I think she was like kind of one of those like manipulative types. That's like, you know, if you want to be with me, then type of thing. You know, why I don't understand why why don't you just leave?
Right.
You know what I mean, just
right.
Go. You know,
you're going to kill your children. You're going to kill your children, and I mean, it's bad enough to kill your wife, but you're going to kill your children. That's your blood, your own blood. You're going to kill them so that you get to be with another broad. I mean, what is that? That's horrendous. I can't. That's like you can't be more evil than that.
No, it reminds me of the only other way. You remember? Did you guys hear a story about Josh Powell that happened here in Pierce County? This was a guy who he took his wife and kids camping, and they never found her. But he killed his wife like in Utah, and they came back to Spanaway, it's like right next to Tacoma, and the state was like kind of had custody of the kids or whatever. Well, he had visitation, and the state worker brought the kids over. He yanks the kids inside the house and slams the door, locks the door, lights the house on. He hits both the kids over the head with an axe and lights the house on, and kills all three of them.
Oh,
so everybody died. Yeah, I mean, Jesus. He kills his wife, and then I mean, it's just some of these people are just psycho.
Unreal.
Yeah.
But this creeps me out, and this I believe. I believe this. There's no. I mean, there's no way police are going to doctor this for what? This is police footage. You know.
Yeah.
It's.
This is about the realest one you've ever played.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a horrible story. I think his name was Ian. I can't remember for sure what, because you said his last name is Watkins.
Watkins, yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to look that up again. Yeah, because I know the neighbor had a video camera, and then he seen that dude coming back, and like back his truck up and like loaded something in his truck.
Yeah.
And
Right. That's how they end up
viral.
catching him eventually because of that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's terrible. And the video that I pulled that from, it's like a longer documentary, and I don't play sounds on here usually because it's too difficult, and because I'd have to download, I don't know what I'd have to do to play the sound. I'd have to like take it directly from the website that it's on. Like I'd have to. So what I usually do is I take a screenshot, so I don't have any copyright issues at all. So I'll screenshot it on my phone, and then I'll download it to my computer. And when I do that, no sound comes on. That's why you don't hear the sound. But the rest of that video, there's sounds that are picked up on the police body cams, and you can hear like it's certain parts of the house. You hear like a child giggling. You hear a woman's voice say, "I'm with Cece," and Cece is one of the kids. One of the kids was named Cece. So it's just unbelievably creepy to hear the whole thing. And you hear the police say, "What was that? Did you hear that?" Like they say it on the body cam. Did you hear that? What is that? And at one point they say, "Is there a toy in there that's making that giggling noise?" And they go into the closet and they try to find a toy. Like they think it's maybe a kid's toy that was making the giggling noise, and they can't find anything that makes the giggling. So just really, really creepy stuff.
Yeah, you never
That's
know.
right, sweetie. You're right. I forgot about that. His wife was pregnant with a baby too. Yes.
Wow.
Yep. Forgot about that.
What a monster, man. What a monster. I wonder if he's still alive. Because I know somebody just recently with that same name died, was killed in prison.
Yeah, and Sweet Tea says it was near you somewhere. Oh, she's talking about the story you told. The story you told about the guy in the house pulling the kid into
it was actually right next to my kid's high school.
Yeah.
You know. No, I was thinking of Ian Watkins. You guys know who that guy is? A former lead singer of the band Lost Prophets. You ever heard of that band?
That's in England, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, in 2013.
He got killed. Yeah.
Yeah, he was convicted of sex offenses of children. Like, I mean, horrible things. And this guy was a singer, but he got what was coming to him in prison.
No, they got him. They got him good, actually.
Yeah, they did.
Well,
I read about it.
That usually happens. Justice usually happens one way or the other.
That's who I was thinking of, Sweet Tea with the Watts. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, Chris.
But these weirdos, they get like fan mail from people. Like they did, all these crazy people do all these, reprehensible crimes, and they get like fan mail.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's true. Even that guy Wade Wilson, you know who that is?
Yep.
He's the one that ran those two girls over, and he has the skull tattooed on his mouth. So it looks like he's a smiling skeleton in his whole life.
Oh, gosh.
That's Florida, right? Is that Florida?
Yep.
And he's not getting the death penalty, that guy?
He will.
He might be, actually. He might actually be getting the
because Florida doesn't play. No, they
don't. but he got he was kind of like Luigi Mangione. He got like $1 million from people and all these girlfriends calling him all the time. Even though he ran over two of them, killed two of them.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. Well, after hearing that story, I don't feel so depressed about my chocolate anymore. I'll tell you that.
Let's just, people think they could change people. Oh, he did this, but I could change it.
Yeah, well, they're out of their minds.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, people think
right.
they can change other people. Like,
you're right.
It's not going to happen.
You're absolutely right. There's some type of a default in people like that. I'm talking about the women that think they can change something. They take it as like a personal challenge or something. That, even though this person's evil, I can make them good. No.
They just like the bad boys anyway.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Crazy town, people. But that's just sad, man. That's just, that's just something that keeps you up at night, because it's like you don't even want to believe that that's possible. You know what I mean? That somebody would do that. That's just.
Sweet Tea says that Chris Watts, no death penalty, life in prison.
Yeah, Gina, read up. I mean, you could read up on Charles Manson getting. There's people who get married in prison. Even though they can't spend their marriage with them outside of prison, they marry them anyway. They're nuts.
Right.
So, who's cooking the turkey in a few days?
Yeah, well, we're hosting, so we'll be cooking a turkey here.
So, let me ask you this, because I've never really cooked a lot of turkeys in my life, but this year I was assigned to cook a turkey because my wife's godmother got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And she's texted me all this stuff today. Hey, you need to come over and grab this turkey and soak it at your house. Like, do you soak your turkey? What the frig is soaking? You got to soak it in salt and something else or something? The turkey I made last year, I threw it in the oven, and that was it.
Well, I think if it's frozen, people a lot of times will defrost it by soaking it in salt water. But if it's not frozen, like we get a fresh turkey, we don't get a frozen turkey. We buy a fresh turkey. And so we don't have to worry about that.
So yeah, that's what I gotta do. Sorry about the slip there, but so I gotta soak it, and you gotta drain it out and put more. You gotta do it like 3 or 4 times or something.
Yeah.
The best way to do it is put a little bit of mozzarella on the top of it and some pepperoni.
Oh yeah, that'll go well.
Yeah, sure, that'll work well.
Throw it in the oven.
I could throw that on like with 10 minutes left or something.
If you can you? If you can, I mean, cook it upside down, like cook it breast down, and then like the juices will go into the breast, and the breast will be moist. It'll come out more moist and less dry.
Is that how you cook yours?
Yeah, I mean, I've done that before. I don't do it. My wife does it, or my mother-in-law does it, but it depends. Sometimes she could do it. Sometimes she can't. Based on whether she has the right. There's like something that it's like, I don't know what it's called. It's something that you could put into the turkey and then you like flip it over, and hold it like this so that the breasts are down instead of up. Like if you normally put it in it, the breasts are up, right? It sits there with like up. But if you have this device, you could do it the opposite way. And but I don't know. I don't know how to do it. It takes some effort.
I'm not going to stress over it. I'm going to do whatever she tells me to do, and I'm throwing it in the oven. That's that. I'm not. Last year, we just had a couple people at our house, not many, and I just threw the turkey in the oven or whatever. I didn't have a baster or nothing. I went to 5 stores on the day before Thanksgiving. I couldn't find one baster, and for Christmas she got me a baster, just as an inside joke. So I have a baster this year anyway.
Okay. Keep basting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps saying deep fried. I would really like to try it. I just I don't have one. I'd have to go out and get one.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get one of those turkey deep fryers, like the big deep
They got a whole
Yeah.
bunch of them at I think Aldi's had them, and then I think Gordon's has them. The restaurant place by my house. They I think they got them. But
yeah, I don't know.
You got to be careful with those things.
It can be dangerous. Yeah, it
Don't
can be dangerous.
don't ever do it in the house. Number one.
Yep.
Ever, and don't ever dunk it frozen, or else you're in trouble.
Oh, you're dead if you dump it frozen. Forget about it. Yeah.
So I think seen a fire department put out a video, and they did that. They dunked it frozen, and broke loose. So, but I'll tell you what, my brother-in-law's deep fried a turkey before, and it's delicious. It's super good.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I've never had it.
Good.
Do you remember when the turducken was a big thing? You remember that? The turducken?
I remember that term, but I don't know what it is.
It's a turkey stuffed with a duck, and the duck is stuffed with a chicken, and you cook it all together. It was called a turducken.
Have you ever done it?
I never had it. I never had it, but I remember that was big for a while. People were
No.
like into that.
There's a video online where the dad plays a joke on the two daughters or something, where he thinks like they cooked like a pregnant turkey or something when they put like a little chicken or something in it. And the girl was all crying and she was all upset.
Yeah.
No, it's super good deep fried for sure.
Yeah, so we'll have our turkey. We'll have a butternut squash soup, which I will make. And usually a pasta dish of some type, because that's what Italians do. We have some type of pasta course. Yeah. And then what else? Sides. Like we'll have stuffing as a side. We don't put stuffing in the turkey, but we cook stuffing separately. And then stuffed mushrooms usually. And a salad. Anything else I'm thinking of? And potatoes, potatoes. So it's your traditional Thanksgiving meal, but with some pasta. Also,
I just can't wait to make myself a plate and send it to you.
You're so foul. The stuff that you eat is so foul.
If anybody, I don't know if you want to go that route right now, but
too funny.
I mash my food together and eat it. And
Gina.
Anthony thinks I'm disgusting human for it.
Listen to this. A tofuki. Oh, fukery. Oh my God.
Tofurkey.
That's got to be disgusting. That's got to be so bad.
Yeah, Gina. Jeez, that's no
thanks. You get an A for effort there for putting up with that for them, because oh my God.
Wow.
And Sweet Tea said that we had a family that was a vegan and we spent Thanksgiving with them. Oh man. Oh.
Yeah, there's too many dishes to even have to even think about worrying about the gluten-free. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's like, come to my table and ask for gluten-free. You're not going to get a happy answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I do sugar. That's it. If you don't like it, move on. Go to somebody else's table. Sorry.
Yeah.
Preparing for a nursing home. Sure. Always.
I think she's talking about the way you eat, the way you put all the food. You ever see like
yeah.
Nice. The way they do Thanksgiving at a nursing home. They put everything on the plate.
I like eating it all together. The corn, the mashed potatoes, gravy, turkey, one spoon, forkful, whatever. Sorry,
if it's all nice and hot, yeah, I can do it, but
I'm just not gonna like
mix it. I'll like spoon a little turkey, a little mashed potato, a little corn, and eat it all up. But I'm not gonna like pre-mix it all together like what are you making, like what do they? Well, I guess they do that at KFC, right?
Yes. I mean, listen, regardless of what you eat or don't eat on a general basis, it's one day. So, I don't normally eat all those carbs, but I'm going to eat it on Thanksgiving because it's a holiday. I'm going to eat the pasta on Thanksgiving. I normally don't never eat pasta, but I'm going to eat it on Thanksgiving.
Anthony, if I send you a picture, can you put it up on screen
right now?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think it would.
Okay, well maybe I can do,
because it would have to cut. You have to put it on. Can you put it on your avatar?
Yeah, I'll do it 1 second.
Because then I'd have to download it on my phone and then send it to the computer, and that would take forever.
You guys should have seen this clown trying to hobble away with 50 pounds of chocolate. It's not easy to carry 50 pounds of chocolate.
He probably thought he was getting punked.
He didn't even have a vehicle, I don't think. God, what an idiot.
That's great. It's funny. It's funny. It sucks, but it's funny how he's going to open it up and just see chocolate there, and he's just going to be like, "What did I do? I thought I was taking, I thought I was probably taking electronics or something."
All right, so your first move is to go on the Facebook Marketplace and see if anyone's selling a 50-pound brick of chocolate, and then Craigslist after that.
I hope I find that guy. Freaking idiot.
Hang on, I gotta delete one of my other avatars.
I don't know, GDM.
Yeah, but you know why? Because he didn't know what he was taking. That's why.
No, he didn't. And he
thought it was
got
great.
my 2 boxes and then one of my roommate's boxes too. I don't know what was in that one, but a FedEx box.
Put that up on the full screen there.
This is disgusting right here.
So there is a pizzeria near my house called Macy's, and they put.
Wait a minute. How do I do this? How do you put this on full screen? There. No, that didn't do it.
There it is. So it's got the mashed potatoes, corn gravy, cranberry sauce,
It's
turkey.
so disgusting.
And they sell a pizza like that.
And it's so foul. And what is this? Whose hand is this right here? Which makes it even more disgusting.
He's got a glove on. He does have a glove on.
All right.
That is gross.
But this, if anybody wants a good laugh, search Macy's Pizzeria in Kenmore, New York. Just their taglines on their stuff, like they get, oh my God, it's bad. But they make all these crazy pizzas. But yeah, that's got all the works on it for Thanksgiving.
That is foul. Hold on here. What happened? I'm on full screen here, so I kind of. What happened to Todd Father? Hold on. Let me get him back up here.
There we go. So I've had their regular pizza before, and I don't know how they make their dough, but it's like lead. Like, it is heavier than any pizza that I've ever made, any dough that I've ever made, any pizza I've ever tried. It's the heaviest pizza I've ever had in my life. So with all that stuff on it too, I don't know.
Yeah, that's foul. I mean, like, yeah.
I'd try it.
It can't be pleasant. You know, think about it. There's no way that could be pleasant to eat that stuff like that.
Osada, is it one big brick or is it like portioned out in like 5 pounds or?
It's 50 pounds. So it's 25 pounds of milk chocolate, 25 pounds of white chocolate, and they're little wafers. So it's like 500 little wafers. And I mean, he's just going to go into a sugar coma if he tries to eat it. I mean, there's nothing he can do with it. It's pointless for him to take that. He's going to end up throwing it away. I know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not even the fucker.
Well, if you see someone selling, someone beside you selling chocolate, then you know where it came from.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's that time of year. I'm definitely going to have it shipped to the commercial kitchen next time, though.
Yeah, I think that's the better move anyway.
People are going to be still. It's just FYI to everybody. I think we should all just be cautious because they're just out there stealing stuff this year. You know what I mean? From porches and.
Oh yeah.
You know.
And I've noticed that people are starting to put traps out for people that do this.
Good.
You know.
Good.
I mean, how cool would it be to like have like a swoop net, like cover it with leaves?
Yeah.
And then when they take the stuff off your porch, it swoops them up into the tree.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a couple of AI videos out there. You can see them online, but you know where like the guy goes to take the package and he falls in. It's like a false thing, and he like falls into it. And it's it's carved. It's fake, but you know, like stuff like that would be fun to see happen in real life.
So I'm actually DJing on Wednesday night, the biggest party night of the year.
Oh, nice.
At my friend's restaurant. So I don't know if it's going to be good. He's got it on the radio and he's got all this advertising.
It's not a wedding. It's just a restaurant.
Just the restaurant. He
just like a
takes
party.
Pardon?
Just like a party night. That's all, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what happens is he shuts down. Like you could still eat at the bar, but the whole like banquet room or whatever, he clears all the tables and chairs out and stuff. So we'll see what happens. There might be 100 people there. Might be 10. Who knows?
Right.
So should be fun. But that's what they're like. Oh yeah, you need to do this with the turkey. I'm like, I'm working the night before. I don't even know when I'm getting home.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? I'm probably gonna be out till 2 a.m. at least. So I don't know.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming up. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no problem.
Hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yes. Hope you guys do too.
No, the advertising for the party's on the radio, Gina, not me.
Yeah.
That would be cool, though. That'd be fun. All right.
All right,
Rock and
everyone.
roll.
Well, thank you so much.
Yep. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Have a good one.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving, guys.
See you later.
All right. Well, anyway, to all of you out there who joined me today, this is awesome. I mean, it was almost 2 hours. I didn't mean for it to be this long, but we got into talking and chatting about more than just ghosts. So it was a good time. Thank each and every one of you for hanging out and spending some time with us. And I hope each and every one of you also has a very wonderful, happy, blessed Thanksgiving with family and friends. Enjoy this time. This is the time that's the best time of year, if you ask me. Starts the holiday season. So thank you all for joining, and I will see you next time. Remember, stay scared and hit the like button on the way out. Have a good one. Thank you, guys.